Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I am Farron Cousins from Ring of Fire, sitting in for David today. And if you want more from me, you can follow me across all the social media, Facebook, the outlet formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. I'm at Farron Balanced on all of those. Follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/FarronBalanced and youtube.com/The Ring of Fire. Now, I do have just a little bit more to talk about with Donald Trump's indictments and all of that. It's just, it's the biggest news of the week, so we gotta talk a lot about it. But this one is a little funnier than the previous stories have been. Because according to new reports this week, all of those poor little lawyers that got indicted for working for Donald Trump, turns out he never even paid them for the work that they did for him. New reports say that even though Donald Trump raised $250 million off of the election lies that not just he was peddling, but also Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman and Sidney Powell, $250 million, and the guy didn't pay a single bill for any of his lawyers. In spite of the fact that according to former Trump lawyer Tim Parlatore, who is now, of course, representing Bernard Kerik, Parlatore says that Donald Trump had a handshake agreement with Rudy Giuliani, who Kerik was working for, to pay Rudy Giuliani $20,000 a day. That's how much Rudy Giuliani, of all people, valued his own legal work, said, I will do this for you for $20,000 a day. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Trump should have paid him. And he didn't. So I guess that worked out in the end. But oh my God, $20,000 a day. Listen, I have worked in a law firm for almost 20 years. I just hit my 19-year anniversary. I have, for 17 years, been the editor of the Trial Lawyer magazine. I have personally interviewed for the National Trial Lawyer Hall of Fame nearly every living member of that Trial Lawyer Hall of Fame. And I'm going to tell you that none of those people, again, the best lawyers in the country, none of them would ever approach and be like, give me $20,000 a day. But that is what Rudy Giuliani asked for. And Trump shook his hand and said, deal, according to Tim Parlatore. Now, again, if Trump had paid, that would have been the worst deal in the history of deals ever. But he didn't. So, maybe there's a part that you kind of feel sorry for Rudy Giuliani a little bit. I mean, think of it this way. Because it's not just Giuliani. As I mentioned, you got John Eastman, Sidney Powell, and actually Kenneth Chesebro. Donald Trump never paid him. But Chesebro maintains that I was doing it pro bono anyway. Well, you got indicted for it. In fact, you all did. One of the worst things that can happen to you as a lawyer is getting indicted for working on your client's case. What's even worse than that is getting indicted for working on your client's case and then not getting paid for the work that you did. But let's be honest here. Is there really anything that Donald Trump should have been paying these people for? I don't want to take Trump's side on this, but I'm kind of taking Trump's side on this. Like, why should he have paid any of these people? I mean, Sidney Powell's out there, in the aftermath of the 2020 election, she's talking about ghosts in Venezuela and Hugo Chavez's spirit. And Rudy Giuliani, meanwhile, is standing in front of Four Seasons total landscaping with his hair melting down his face. Do you think those people deserve money for that? I mean, really? When you look at the work that they did, all of the lawsuits that they filed, laughed out of court. Not just laughed out of court either, to the point where Rudy Giuliani is at risk of losing his law license. John Eastman is in court right now fighting to keep his law license. Sidney Powell has been sanctioned by a judge in Michigan, actually making her basically take what amounts to a remedial law course. So, did they deserve to get paid? I mean, when they did such bad work that they're at risk of losing their legal licenses? I think that's a wash. I think if Donald Trump would have given any of them even a single dollar, he would have overpaid for the legal services that they ended up providing for him. And I cannot get over the $20,000 a day. Like, that to me is the most bonkers price tag I think I have ever seen. And of course, we had reports come out this week that also suggested that Rudy Giuliani might, according to CNN, be in financial dire straits. You know, he listed his property in New York for $6.5 million. So far, no offers yet, but he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars in outstanding debts related to the lawsuits he's already facing, not even counting the new indictments. So Giuliani seems like he's, if he's not in financial dire straits, he's probably going to be in financial dire straits. I mean, most of the lawsuits that he's already facing outside the indictments, again, are defamation lawsuits. So he's going to have to pay out some money. Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, he's got that defamation lawsuit. He's got the defamation lawsuit with the voting companies. So things are not looking very rosy for Mr. Giuliani right now. And as for John Eastman, as I said, he's in court this week fighting to keep his law license in the state of California. The only one who actually had a little bit of a backup plan in terms of not being paid by Donald Trump, turns out that was Sidney Powell, because she had set up a nonprofit entity that ended up raising $16 million to help pay for these lawsuits. So Sidney Powell has a little bit of a cushion. She's like, okay, I didn't get paid, but, I got a big old pot over here full of money. But 16 million isn't 250 million. And again, that is what Donald Trump raised off of his election lies, off the election lies of these people. So at that point, he was literally getting, during that time period, millions of dollars a day. So let's be real, even if he had paid Giuliani $20,000 a day, you're still pulling in millions of dollars a day over a 3-month span. A day! You could have paid Giuliani and you never would have noticed it. It would have come out of your super PACs. You can't put that in your pocket anyway. So why not give the man the money? Was it the melting hair thing? I want to think that it was the melting hair thing. I really, deep in my heart of hearts, I believe that when Trump saw that, he was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go back on that handshake there. I am not giving this lunatic $20,000. So it is what it is, right? I mean, if you're one of Donald Trump's lawyers, you don't get the happy ending. And now we're realizing that not only do you not get the happy ending, but you're not even going to get your legal fees covered after you get indicted. So that's about the biggest double whammy that these people could get.